Following the spate of insecurity in the country and the attempted robbery attack at the house of the Chief of Staff in Aso Rock, legal practitioners and analysts have said that nowhere is safe in Nigeria, and the presidency needs to act swiftly in curbing the incessant killings and kidnapping. According to the chairman of Nigerian Bar Association, Ikeja Branch, Bartholomew Igwegbudu, the presidency needs to address the social ills that gives rise to crime. On his part, Barrister Dayo Ogunjebe stresses that the federal government would have to increase the number of security agencies in the country, while security analyst Dixon Osaje emphasizes that the police force needs to be decentralized to states, as proper security needs speed and time.
For now, kidnapping in Nigeria has become a line of business, and it is spreading down the south. So government will have to be up and doing in tackling these specific areas mentioned now, if we have to actually curtail the widespread of insecurity. Then finally, government will have to actually ensure a people-friendly policy by government. If government keeps embarking on policies that increase the level of unemployment, insecurity will always remain on the rise. Particular reference is the situation where Lagos State government for now is talking about the ban of Okada. I believe that the ban of Okada is purely for insecurity purposes. But I also want the government to have a look at it, whether it will not throw more people into the unemployment market, and what the effect of those new rate of unemployment will be on the insecurity level of the state.
Already the NSAS has exposed a certain decay in the police force, and now with what we are seeing is exposing other areas where the police need to do more. Maybe the federal government should increase the number of forces in each state, because obviously the police cannot do it alone. So we need the SSS to be involved, we need the soldiers also to be on ground.
So for me, the police should be decentralized, and we must have orders coming from the state governors, because here, if any incident transpired, you have to fall back to Abuja to collect permission before you listen to the state governor. Security needs time and speed. If you don't apply time and speed, security will be defeated, and criminal elements don't like delay. But here we give them the opportunity to strike, we give them the opportunity to progress in their criminal activity. So if we want to curtail such crime in progress, looking at the police information, we must decentralize the police so that we'll have a form of community policing, state policing.
Speaking to Galaxy's Valerie Chioma, Bartholomew opines that the police would have to correct the perception that citizens have of them in order to stop the attacks on police stations, while Ogunjebe noted that the police force needs restructuring. Dixon further said that strong punishment needs to be meted to criminals so it can act as a deterrent to those planning to carry out such dastardly act.
The police will have to do a lot to improve their perception, the people's perception of their image. Because if it continues, it will get to a point where the society becomes lawless and nobody will rely on the police to restore law and order. So the police hierarchy and the service chiefs should also look at the recruitment procedure for people joining the police, where the recruitment exercise is done on nepotism, favoritism, and ethnicism, without due check being done on the character and integrity of persons being admitted into the force, we may end up having criminals enlisted in the police.
Where you have trouble spots, to be in the interest of the Nigerian police force, not to put people that will have conflict of interest in those places. Because once that happens, then the citizenry would fight back, and it could result in lack of confidence in the police in that particular place, and there could be violence towards them. So the Nigerian police force have to, like all the trouble spots now, they will need to do something to stop that ethnic bias from causing problems. Yes, they need to address those issues.
Then for the police, they need to set up a threat evaluation team that will be carrying out a risk assessment and vulnerability analysis, because your vulnerability is my opportunity. My opportunity is your vulnerability, because if you are vulnerable, you are giving the criminal opportunity to excel, and that is where threat manifests, because threat cannot manifest without the exploitation of vulnerability. So the police needs to carry out a vulnerability analysis, know what the problem is. And I've also identified one of the constitutional factors why these guys are being hit is that they are not really more on the alert. They need to raise the threat volume and also be on the alert, and also their personal protective equipment, PPEs. They must give them personal protective equipment.